How confident are you in the 2027 Toyota RAV4? Is it truly worth the price you're about to pay? Before we go any further, let's take a step back. To really understand if the new RAV4 is the right fit for you, we need to look at what hasn't always worked so well, specifically, the user complaints from previous years. Do those issues matter to you? That depends on what kind of driver you are and what you're willing to compromise on. Let's talk about some of the user complaints on the Toyota RAV4 from recent years, because some of these issues might still show up in the 2027 model. 1. Transmission hesitation. Now, just like the interior materials, it's not a huge issue for everyone. But for some drivers, it's definitely noticeable. Picture this. You're merging onto a highway. You press the gas expecting the 2027 RAV4 to respond instantly, but instead, there's this half-second pause. The car feels like it's thinking about it first. Oh, you wanted to go now? Okay, cool, let's do that. That tiny delay can be frustrating, especially when you're in traffic or trying to pass someone. You want confidence, but instead, you get hesitation. It's like asking your friend to toss you the ball, and they stand there blinking for a second before doing it. Not a disaster, but definitely not smooth. And when you're driving a 2027 Toyota RAV4 that's supposed to feel solid, capable, and quick to respond, especially if you're paying for a higher trim, that delay kind of cheapens the experience. It feels like the RAV4's brain and body aren't on the same page. Is it dangerous? Not really. But is it annoying over time? For some folks, absolutely. 2. Cabin noise. Now, to be fair, it's not like you're riding in a wind tunnel. But plenty of owners notice that road and wind noise sneak into the cabin, especially at highway speeds. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. You're on a road trip with 2027 Toyota RAV4. You've got your favorite playlist going, coffee in the cup holder, cruising down the interstate. But every time you try to enjoy the music or talk to your passengers, you have to raise your voice. Not a lot, just enough to be annoying. It's like trying to have a cozy chat in a coffee shop, right next to a blender. Or imagine buying a nice pair of noise-canceling headphones, but then realizing they still let in the sound of the city bus outside. You'd feel a little let down, right? That's what some RAV4 drivers felt. For a car in this price range, you expect a quieter, more refined ride, especially in those higher trims. And when the cabin lets in more sound than expected, it chips away at the comfort you're supposed to be paying for. Is it a deal breaker? Maybe not. But it's one of those things that wears on you, drive after drive. 3. Infotainment glitches. Now let's get into something a little more modern. Infotainment glitches on the Toyota RAV4. We're talking laggy touchscreens, Bluetooth dropouts, and the occasional random system reset. Is it the end of the world? Nah. But when you're paying for tech that's supposed to just work, it starts to feel like death by 1,000 glitches. All right, imagine this. You're heading to work with 2027 Toyota RAV4. You've got your favorite podcast queued up, phone connected, and directions loaded. You tap the screen, and nothing happens. Or worse, the screen freezes, and then restarts like it's taking a coffee break mid-drive. It's like buying a brand new smartphone and realizing it has the personality of a moody teenager. Sometimes it listens, sometimes it doesn't, and once in a while, it just shuts down for no reason. For something that's supposed to make your drive easier, these little tech hiccups turn convenience into a chore, especially when you're dealing with traffic, trying to switch songs, or relying on maps. The last thing you want is a system acting like it's stuck in 2012. So yeah, not a deal breaker. But when tech is part of the price tag, you expect it to feel polished, not like a beta test. 4. Stiff ride quality. Now look, the RAV4 handles well. It feels planted and confident, especially in corners. But some owners say you really feel the road, and not always in a good way. Why does it matter? You buy a nice-looking sofa. It's modern, stylish, looks great in your living room. But when you sit on it, it's firm. Like, too firm. You try to get comfortable, but after 10 minutes, you're shifting around, feeling every stitch and spring underneath. That's kind of what driving a stiff-riding SUV feels like. The RAV4 looks and drives confidently, sure, but hit a pothole or roll over a rough patch of road, and it sends a little jolt through your seat. Not painful, but noticeable. constant. And over time, that firmness starts to wear on you, especially on longer drives. It's the kind of thing that makes you say, maybe I'll take the other car today. So yeah, great handling is a plus from 2027 RAV4. But if the comfort isn't there, especially in a family SUV, it can take the fun out of the drive. 5. Interior material quality. Let's talk about one of the more common complaints on the Toyota RAV4 in recent years, interior material quality. Now don't get us wrong, it's not bad. In fact, most owners say it's fine. But here's the rub. When you're paying for a mid or upper trim, some folks expect more than just fine. You walk into a fancy-looking restaurant. The lighting is perfect, the menu is premium, the prices are up there, but when they bring out your plate, it's on a plastic tray. You'd pause, right? That mismatch throws off the whole experience. Same with the 2027 Toyota RAV4. You're sitting in a top-trim vehicle. Maybe you've got heated seats, a panoramic roof, but then you reach over and tap the dash, and it's that hollow, hard plastic. That little detail, that one spot, suddenly feels like it doesn't belong. It's not about being picky, it's about expectations. When you pay more, you expect that little extra touch. And if Toyota misses that, even slightly, it stands out. So is it a deal breaker? For some, no. But for others, it's that small letdown that nags at them every time they get in the car. Final thought. Looking at the data from previous generations of the Toyota RAV4, I'd estimate Toyota's average responsiveness to user complaints is somewhere around 55 to 60%. Now, what does that really mean? It means not every issue gets fixed from one generation to the next. Some of the same old complaints, like transmission hesitation, cabin noise, or a stiff ride, might still be hanging around in the 2027 RAV4. So here's the deal. Keep these things in mind during your test drive. Use them like a checklist, not to nitpick, but to really feel out whether those past complaints matter to you. Can you live with them? Or are they deal breakers? Because knowing what to look for means no surprises later and helps you decide if the 2027 Toyota RAV4 is the right match for your everyday drive.